Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Team Forbidden's YouTube page again. It is Andrew the Collector here with the last video of our trilogy of the top 5 budget decks of the new format. This is post the February 2023 ban list and Photon Hypernova. So we're going to jump into number 5, which is going to be one of my more personal favorites, Crystal Beast. Oh boy, this deck is something, I will tell you, because you can actually do Crystal Beast in several different forms. You can do Conclave Control, you can do the rank 4 or Link climbing build, you can do the beatdown strategy with the fusion monsters. If you're ballsy enough, you can even go the Advanced Dark route, but I don't highly recommend you do that unless you want to lose a whole bunch of times, because I've actually tested the deck, and it can brick a lot. But the best route, I would say, is to go Conclave Control, because that one definitely has the most interruptions. But yeah, the reason why it's on this list is because you can make the entire deck with just 3 structure decks. Most of your budget is going to go towards the extra deck, because stuff in there can be a little bit pricey depending on the build that you go with. But Conclave Control is definitely probably the most budget friendly, because the extra deck isn't needed as much. But there are still things in there like Abyss Dweller, Baguska, Tornado Dragon, even the fusion dragons if you want to go for that. But they come in the structure deck, so it's not that big a deal. But if you're definitely going the budget friendly route, I definitely recommend the Conclave Control strategy. And number 4, this one I can't really say for sure, but because it hasn't really been tested out yet. But I'm going to go with Ninja of all things. The only real expensive cards in this would definitely have to be Hanzo and the Link 2, I believe it's Saizo. Those are probably going to be the more expensive cards, but Saizo is around $5 to $10 a piece, and Hanzo is around the same one, so those are going to be your most expensive cards. Everything else is either a couple bucks or a couple cents. So you can make the deck fairly easy on a budget, and the strategy is pretty easy to use too. It revolves around just special summoning out monsters during your opponent's turn or during your turn, and putting your opponent's cards face down. Like I said, very simple strategy, and it has potential because it has new support of Green Ninja in Photon Hypernova. So definitely keep that in mind if you want to go for it. Just kind of play test around with it and do a build that you want to go with. For number 3, it's going to be, like Crystal Beast, it's going to be Dark World. Dark World, it definitely has more of a potential with the competitive scene than Crystal Beast. Mainly because it has more interactions and more interruptions that it can do, and it has more potential. Because you can not only do pure Dark World, but you can also put in the Shadal engine with it. Plus, you can add in the danger stuff. But if you want to go the most budget route, you can just pick up 3 structure decks, take it to your locals, and practice with that. And if you have any extra money in your budget, then get the danger package and any extra deck monsters that you want. But this is definitely a relic from the past that has been revamped and, for the better for the current format. And honestly, the player base couldn't be happier. And that goes with me and Brian the Darkness too. Go check out his Dark World profile on his channel, by the way. But yeah, number 2 would have to be Sword Soul. Sword Soul was brought to my attention by Eric the Cyborg, because he said that out of most of the top decks now, Sword Soul would probably be the one that would have the best matchup against Kashtira. Mainly in the form of their level 10 Synchro Monster that banishes your opponent's stuff and gets a boost from any card that's banished. So having that on the field, plus your level 8 that negates monster effects, and a blackout face down, I mean, Kashtira players are going to have a hard time. All the time that I've play tested on it, Sword Soul was consistently the hardest deck I had to go up against. Obviously along with Kashtira, with Tier Element, but Tier Element now isn't as big as they used to be. But Sword Soul is definitely one that you're going to have to keep your eyes out. And the deck is super budget. Every card in it got reprinted. The only thing that's going to be any kind of money is Baron. But you don't really need Baron a whole lot, because you have their 2 main deck level 10 Synchros. Which the other one, to banish your opponent's card when they activate an effect, and you burn them for it, I mean, what else can you love? Plus, you can throw in the 10E package too, which is also very budget friendly. So, if you want a simple deck that is that is easy on your wallet, easy on your budget, and very user friendly, I would highly recommend Sword Soul. And the last one on the list for best budget deck is going to be, like I said in the top 5 med deck, it's going to be Flunderies. The reason why is because, like I said in the top 5 meta decks, even though that barrier statue got hit, it's still a heavy contender. Plus, everything in there is super budget friendly because, like Sword Soul, everything got reprinted. It's M-Pen control. Quite literally, the only 2 cards that are going to be any kind of money in that deck is going to be the Harpy's Feather Storm and the Advent of Adventure, the quick play that searches out the field spell and a level 1 Flunderies card. Those are the only cards that are going to be any kind of money. Everything else is super friendly, but budget friendly. Maybe not as budget as Sword Soul. Sword Soul is going to be a little bit more budget, but if you want to have more success, I would highly recommend Flunderies because, like I said before, they're able to main deck Shifter. If you have any more room in your budget, you could do Prosperities, but if not, then Extravagance works just as well, and Extravagance common copies are literally under $1. But that's it for the top 5 budget decks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more profiles once the Photon Hypernova set is released this weekend. Comment down below what you guys think or what kind of videos you want us to do in the future, and we will catch you guys later.